You gonna stab me?
I'm going to defend myself.
Defend yourself from what?
I'm going to defend myself.
You acting violent? There you go. See? No, you chill out. Chill out. Chill out. Chill out. Chill out.
You know what?
Chill out. Why'd you try to help me with?
You know what? You know what?
The defendant gets a gun and shoots her 6 times. A revolver, emptying the revolver into Amanda Williams, killing her in her own bedroom.
Knowing that I wasn't there for my baby, she must have been terrified. She must have been terrified for her children downstairs.
I saw a pattern of domestic abuse. Watch this whole pattern of abuse, apology. Abuse, apology. It's all throughout the thread. Abuse, apology, and then watch this, acquiescing. Her, okay, man, I would have snatched her out. Yes, guilty, she should have left. That does not justify you taking her life.
Stay tuned as we reveal everything about this case. Drop a comment and let me know what you think about this story. Welcome to our channel. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. Like and share this video to help raise awareness and spread caution. Let's begin.
And let's get back to our continuing coverage as well. Today, the jury was able to watch cell phone video of the moment Terrell Edwards shot and killed 46-year-old Amanda Williams. This happened at their home in October. While the prosecution is asserting murder, Edwards is claiming self-defense.
The prosecution next plays the video of the shooting in slow motion and rotated for easier viewing. They stress that in the video, Edwards never asks Williams to put down the knife, never tells her he has a gun, and doesn't warn her that he's going to shoot her. They also say that while Edwards is near the headboard of the bed grabbing the gun from under the mattress, Williams is several feet away towards the foot of the bed and was not near or approaching Edwards. Now, the prosecution tells me that they have wrapped up their presentation for the courtroom, but that the trial will continue tomorrow. I then asked the defense if they will be bringing anyone to the stand to testify, and they only answered maybe.
A marriage proposal. It's supposed to be the beginning of forever, but for Amanda Williams, it marked the countdown to her final hours. October 9, 2023, Beechwood, Ohio. Terrell Edwards shot his fiancée 6 times inside their home, shortly after asking her to be his wife. The woman he claimed to love, the woman who had just said yes to spending her life with him, lay dead by his hand. Amanda was a thriving hairstylist who ran her own business. She was known throughout the community for her skill, her warmth, and the positive impact she had on everyone who sat in her chair. She was a mother, a daughter, a friend, someone who lit up the lives of those around her. From the outside, her relationship with Terrell seemed solid. But behind closed doors, there was conflict, tension that had been building, arguments that escalated, and on that October night, everything exploded into violence. An argument, 6 gunshots, a life stolen. Terrell claimed self-defense. He told police that Amanda had attacked him with a knife, that he had no choice but to fire. But recordings from that night, evidence collected by investigators, and testimony presented in court would reveal a very different story. If you've ever known someone who made the world brighter just by being in it, drop a comment below. And if you're new here, subscribe. We cover cases where justice and truth matter most. What you're about to see includes footage from that night, Terrell's confession to police, courtroom testimony, and the heartbreaking words of Amanda's family. This is the story of a woman who deserved so much more, and the man who took everything from her.
So I recorded her again. She grabbed the phone out of my hand while I'm trying to record and took the knife and poked the screen and pushed the screen on the phone. Then she slid the phone. And then she come talk to me, so I'm running around the room. I jump up on the bed, and when I jump up on the bed, she trying to come down on me with the knife. So I grabbed her gun from under the mattress, and she jumped, she was trying to come out. I shot, man. I kept telling her, baby, calm down, put the knife down, stop.
She had told him to leave. I want you to leave. Go. He said no. And she has a knife with her. And they're arguing. And the defendant gets a gun and shoots her 6 times.
There's nothing mistakable about this. This man, at the moment he shot, did not want to be stabbed with that knife. And it was imminent, and that's the choice he made. And we believe when the court instructs you on self-defense, that is self-defense, and that's the only choice he has.
Terrell Edwards took the stand arguing self-defense.
I just shot rapidly. I was scared. She had me so scared with that knife.
Edwards says he and Amanda had a pretty good relationship before October 9th last year. That's when an argument over phone texts boiled over.
And she's coming out of my closet with a whole bunch of clothes, and she's throwing them all over the floor, telling me to get out.
Edwards says he intended to leave, but Amanda grabbed a kitchen knife and held him in their room. Prosecutors didn't buy it.
You just said you were de-escalating by telling her to chill out. Why didn't you de-escalate further by saying, "I've got your gun, please stop"?
Like I said, I didn't want to shoot her.
Edwards says he got a hold of Amanda's gun as he was trying to get away from her and testified he had only 2 choices: get stabbed or shoot.
I'm trying to run to get away, and that's when she cut me off and she lunged at me with the knife. I had no other choice.
She never knew you had her gun, did she?
I don't believe so, no.
Edwards shot Amanda 6 times and then called 911. Amanda's daughter, Tyler, heard and ran upstairs.
Why not let Tyler go to her mother and try to help her?
Didn't want Tyler to be traumatized.
Really?
I didn't. She kept trying to get over there. I didn't want her to see her mom like that.
So it was for you to decide. The defendant sat in the back of Officer Viddick's car and said to himself, "Why did you grab that knife? Why did you grab that knife?" Amanda told him why she grabbed that knife in video 1. "To defend myself," is what she said. And he sat there and said to this jury, I was never violent with her. He told the police all about things that she was like. Never once mentioning himself as part of it. On November 27, 2020, she wrote a text message to him that reads as follows: "Every time I look in the mirror, I get angry all over again. To walk around looking like a battered woman is not only embarrassing but humiliating. To use your foot to do damage is one of the ultimate sign of destruction. And you complain about me being a strong woman. Well, if I weren't as strong as I am, I would have had you thrown in jail and exposed you to everyone." No response needed was her next message. His response was, "I'm glad we're both strong, and I hope you feel better. I'm sorry for what I did." He's not saying, "Wow, what a misunderstanding we just had." He's admitting he used his foot to cause damage to her face. His next response: "I just wish the love we say we have for each other would show every day unconditionally." And her response to that, and this is why he knows exactly why she needed to defend herself: "It will never be the same." And she had pictures on her phone of her face, pictures of herself in the hospital 2 days earlier getting treatment. You heard Tyler Williams' testimony. She did not know about the problems in their relationship. On that same phone, this happened around Thanksgiving time of 2020, she has a picture with her son, Amanda, and she has a COVID mask on her face. She hid this from her family, but he knew exactly what he did to her. And he can sit here now and have his lawyer say, "There's a whole different side to that story, Judge." But he sat there and told that jury, "I'm not violent with her." She begs to differ, still. So, that being said, Judge, I want to talk about what happened. This defendant shot her 6 times in her own bedroom. He did not need to. In his own testimony, he admitted that when she was looking down, hitting his phone, her attention was to the phone, not to him. He also said, at that time, she did not pose a threat to me. He also said, and you saw the still frame that was on the screen when I was asking those questions, he was on her side of the bed with the gun in his hand. You couldn't see it, but he said, yep, that gun is in my hand. And never once on that video did he say, I've got your gun, please stop. And he did not try to defuse that situation. He had an opportunity and he killed this woman. For that, severe punishment is needed. That being said, Judge, I have with me, as you can see, this courtroom is full of Amanda Williams' family and friends. You've seen the letters, many of them being her sorority sisters, community members. To say she will be missed in this community is an understatement, a severe one. To say she will be missed by her family is just not true.
Honestly, I feel if anyone could take a person's life intentionally, should never see another day in light. I would wish the death penalty, but unfortunately that's not here, so life in prison is best bet. I just can't stomach the fact that I have to live the rest of my life without my mom. My daughter has to live the rest of her life without her grandma because a coward wanted to take her life. My mom did not deserve this at all. My mother was a family-oriented person. She was my motivator, my best friend. She was the glue to this family. She was my guidance, my everything. I just can't live without her, and I can't imagine just living life without my mom. I can't never call my mom again and tell her I love her. I can't never call and tell her about my day, about how my daughter is doing, how she's growing up. I can't do that no more. He can do that. He can still call his mom. He can still call and check on her. They can all call and check and see how he's doing in jail. We can't get my mom back, ever. My daughter has to grow up without a grandma. She can't even, she won't see her start kindergarten. She won't see her turn 5, grow up, be a teenager. She won't see any of that. I'm about to be 30 years old, but I won't even be here to see that milestone. She won't be able to see my brother graduate college or anything like that. I can't believe she's not here no more. How can I ever explain to my daughter that my mother is never coming back? That's the one that she called her Papa, the only one that she knew, the only person that she was around for 4 years. How can I even explain that to her? And you said you never wanted me to be traumatized. I was traumatized the moment I walked in the room and see my mom lying there. And I was even more traumatized. I couldn't even hold her with her last breath. I just can't. It's not sitting right with me. I don't feel like anyone should be out here in this world if they kill someone. I don't respect a person like that, and I don't have any sympathy. This man never had any remorse for my mom at all. He didn't try to get her up. He didn't try to make sure she was okay. He didn't have no remorse for nothing, and I don't either. I don't think that he should have any time. He should be in jail forever, for life.
Sure your phones are silent and quiet.
Yeah, and folks, I want you all to know that I appreciate that this is an important case for both sides of the aisle, but my courtroom deputies have my full authority to act on anything that they think is either inappropriate or impacts on courtroom security. So regardless of what the outcome here is, you need to make sure you contain yourself. Otherwise, the deputies will act, and I'm sure you don't want that to happen. So Keep that in mind. Keep your phones away.
All rise for the jury. Jurors, if you'll please come in.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Have a seat. Ladies and gentlemen, I understand that you reached a verdict. Is that correct?
Yeah, Your Honor.
Mark, would you be good enough to hand the forms to Mr. Brown, please?
Thank you, Mr. Florence. Your Honor.
All right. I have reviewed the verdict forms, and they do appear to be accurately or at least completely filled out. Mr. Edwards, you could please stand. The verdict forms in this case, count one. Verdict reads, we, the jury in this case, being duly impaneled and sworn, do find the defendant, Terrell Edwards, not guilty of aggravated murder in violation of 2903.01a of the Ohio Revised Code is charged in count one of the indictment. It is signed in ink by all 12 jurors, and the specifications are not completed. Count two, the verdict reads, we, the jury in this case, being duly impaneled and sworn, do find the defendant, Terrell Edwards, guilty of murder in violation of Revised Code Section 2903.02a of the Ohio Revised Code is charged in count two of the indictment. It is signed in ink by all 12 jurors. Pursuant to their directions, the firearm specification. All right. First firearm specification reads, we, the jury in this case, having found the defendant guilty of murder, further find and specify that the defendant, Terrell Edwards, did have a firearm on or about his person or under his control while committing the offense of murder is charged in count two of the indictment. It is signed in ink by all 12 jurors. Firearm specification 2 reads, we, the jury in this case, having found defendant guilty of murder, further find and specify that the defendant, Terrell Edwards, did have a firearm on or about his person or under his control while committing the offense and displayed the firearm, brandished the firearm, indicated he possessed the firearm or used it to facilitate the offense of murder. It's charged in count two of the indictment. It is filled out in ink by all 12 jurors. Verdict form for count three, charge of murder. We, the jury in this case, being duly impaneled and sworn, do find the defendant, Terrell Edwards, guilty of murder in violation of Revised Code Section 2903.02b of the Ohio Revised Code. It's charged in count three of the indictment. It is filled out in ink by all 12 jurors. Furthermore, both of the firearm specifications indicate that he did have a firearm on or about his person or under his control. Verdict form for count four, felonious assault, reads, we, the jury in this case, being duly impaneled and sworn, do find the defendant, Terrell Edwards, guilty of felonious assault in violation of Section 2903.11a1 of the Revised Code is charged in count four of the indictment. It is completed in ink by all 12 jurors or signed in ink by all 12 jurors. Their further findings is that he did have a firearm on or about his person or under his control in both of the specifications which is also completed in ink. Count 5, charge of felonious assault. We, the jury in this case, being duly impaneled and sworn, do find defendant Terrell Edwards guilty of felonious assault in violation of section 2903.11A2 of the revised code. This charge of count 5 of the indictment. It is accurately signed by all 12 jurors in ink, as well as both of the firearm specifications are found that he did have a firearm. Those are signed as well in ink. Finally, count 6, the verdict form reads, we, the jury in this case, being duly impaneled and sworn, do find defendant Terrell Edwards guilty of domestic violence in violation of section 2919.25A of the revised code is charged in count 6 indictment. It is signed in ink by all 12 jurors. Anything else on behalf of the state of Ohio?
No, Judge, thank you.
Anything else on behalf of the defense?
I just ask that you pull the jury here.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, what I'm going to do is just point to each one of you and ask if those verdicts are your individual verdicts. So, sir, are these verdicts your individual verdicts?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ma'am, are these verdicts your individual verdicts?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ma'am, are these verdicts your individual verdicts? Sir, are these verdicts your individual verdicts?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ma'am, are these verdicts your individual verdicts?
Yes, Your Honor.
Sir, are these verdicts your individual verdicts?
Yes, Your Honor.
And sir, are these verdicts your individual verdicts?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ma'am, are these verdicts your individual verdicts?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ma'am, are these verdicts your individual verdicts?
Yes.
And ma'am, are these verdicts your individual verdicts?
Yes, Your Honor.
Sir, are these verdicts your individual verdicts?
Yes, Your Honor.
And ma'am, are these verdicts your individual verdicts?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I am going to ask you if you would just retire back in your jury room for a few minutes. I'll be back to join you. I do truly want to thank you on behalf of the entire community. These cases are important for everyone involved, and we definitely appreciate your efforts. All rise to the jury.
The evidence presented in court told a story that contradicted Terrell Edwards' claims of self-defense. While he maintained that Amanda had come at him with a knife and that he feared for his life, the videos and recordings shown to the jury revealed inconsistencies in his account. Prosecutors laid out the timeline of events from that night. The gunshots, 6 of them, fired at close range. The positioning of Amanda's body. The statements Terrell made to police in the hours after her death. Piece by piece, the prosecution dismantled his version of events. The jury deliberated and returned with their verdict, guilty of murder and related charges. However, they found him not guilty of aggravated murder, a charge that would have carried even harsher consequences. Terrell Edwards would face the legal consequences of his actions, but for Amanda's family, no verdict could ever be enough. In the courtroom, Amanda's loved ones spoke through tears and anger. They described the devastation of losing her, the hole left in their lives that could never be filled. They talked about Amanda's daughter, who was kept from seeing her mother in those final moments, a trauma that will stay with her forever. Her family didn't just mourn the loss of Amanda's life. They mourned the future she would never have. The birthdays, the holidays, the ordinary moments that make up a life. They mourned the business she had built with her own hands, the clients who trusted her, the people whose days she made better just by being herself. They spoke about who Amanda really was, not defined by how she died, but by how she lived. A woman who worked hard, who loved fiercely, who showed up for people in her life. A woman who deserved to grow old, to watch her daughter thrive, to keep building the life she had worked so hard to create. This case forces us to confront an uncomfortable truth. Violence often hides in places we don't expect. Relationships that appear stable from the outside can harbor danger. Arguments can escalate in ways that seem impossible until they happen. Amanda's story is a reminder that we need to pay attention to the people around us, to notice when something feels off, to believe people when they tell us they're afraid, to understand that abuse and violence don't always announce themselves loudly. Sometimes they simmer quietly until it's too late. What do you think about this case? Should Terrell have been convicted of aggravated murder? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. The Williams family has had to navigate grief that most of us can't comprehend. They've had to stand in a courtroom and face the man who killed someone they loved. They've had to relive the worst night of their lives over and over again through testimony and evidence. And they've had to do it all while trying to hold on to the memory of who Amanda was before that night. Amanda Williams was a talented stylist who built her own business from the ground up. She was a mother who loved her daughter more than anything. She was a person who mattered deeply to the people who knew her. Her family wants the world to remember that, not just the tragedy of how she died, but the fullness of who she was. While we can't change what happened on October 9th, 2023, we can honor Amanda's memory by staying aware, by speaking up when we see warning signs, by supporting people who are trying to leave dangerous situations, by refusing to look away when something doesn't feel right. If this story affected you, hit that like button and share this video. Awareness can make a difference. And let us know what state or country you're watching from. Leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe for more true crime coverage that seeks truth and justice. Amanda Williams deserved a future. She deserved to see her daughter grow up. She deserved the happiness that proposal should have brought. She deserved to keep living the life she had worked so hard to build. Rest in peace, Amanda. Your story won't be forgotten.